Okay. Cool. I need some coffee. Derby. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bozos. Fucking bozo. What am I doing? Did I just fuck it up? I think I just fucked it up. You guys ever divide by zero? It's a trip. It's a gateway drug. First time I divided by zero, started doing all kinds of other illegal mathematical operations. I turned pi to a rational number. Fucking took the derivative of circle. Fucked up, man. You think breaking the law is bad? Wait till you break mathematical law. Doing all kinds of non-Euclidean shit. It's violating more and more. They had to throw me in math rehab. Yeah, it was bad. Gosh darn it, Bobby. Oh, I. But it can't be. same cigarettes as me. I can't get no. Hey. Look at how shitty Amazon's physical stores are doing. That's, I think, Whole Foods, basically, right? So they've started in Q2 19. Not started, my model starts in Q2 19. And Q1 22, 12 quarters later, they got the same revenue. Garbage. That's what I call garbage. Garbage. Now, it's garbage. You guys know what I'm talking about? You're probably too young. First of all, if you're young, you shouldn't be watching this. This is for adults. Second of all, yeah, I said it. I don't care. Oops, what am I doing here? They used to not break it out, I guess. This used to be one thing. Ads were not broken out. That's fine. You know what? I'll put this here and I'll zero these out. Cool. And real life. And that's what the Organization Man talks about too. And that's what the 92 film talks about. And you've seen some other exposés. I think there's some parodies like the Silicon Valley comedy. But again, you have the real world and real life. Spent some time hanging out with some 20-year-old kids and seeing recently, I call them kids, they're young adults, professionals, 25 on average, maybe 28 on average, trying to find their place in the world, and very interesting to sort of talk to them and see what's important to them, what isn't. Anyway, let's get back to this dinero. Physical stores. Yeah, Amazon has not grown that Whole Foods business at all. I don't know why they have that thing. I bet you they sell it. Divest it. Spin it out. Take it public. Hit the bricks, as Baldwin might say. From what I can see, completely useless to the actual business. In Q2 19. Let me just get that last quarter and then we're done. When I say done, I use that term loosely. Okay. Oops. G&A. I think I got all that. Minus 27. It should be 3061. Of course it isn't, because I messed it up again. Let's see, 86. Oh, that's an expense. Got it. Okay, 289, 257.7. 503 shares outstanding. Cool. Alright, so that's a picture of Amazon's last 14 quarters. That's pretty good. We need a picture for their next 3 quarters, which is a lot harder to get. Okay, predicting the future is pretty tricky. We got to do our best, though. And that's why, I always say it takes 500 hours to look at a stock, which a lot of people are like, that sounds crazy. 500 hours, that's 21 days of full-time work. If I just did 1 hour a day on a stock, that would be, a year and change before I can start trading that stock. Well, you don't like it, too bad. You can do an hour every other day. You're like, oh, it would take 2.5 years. Well, I got 2.5 years. Do you? I've been investing for a long time. You got to start somewhere. And the reason is like, look at these quarters. Like you need some time to pass so you get a flavor for the tempo of the company. It's really not simple. You know, a lot of people just want to make trades. Sometimes experience can give you a little bit of a shortcut, but even then you shouldn't be trusting your experience too much. So it's a tough business. All right, let me see here. I've been following Amazon my whole life. It was one of my first stocks I invested in, but I've not really traded it very much. I'm not really a tech guy. I wasn't. I mean, I don't know how to put that. Most of my investing experience is not in technology, but it's changing quite a bit. Okay. So 2021 is an actual. Okay. Insider buying to me is not that important. Um, it's important contextually. It's not like useless, but you know, I don't know that there's a great read. I don't know that it's that helpful. All right, so Amazon has had this unprecedented growth slowage. I don't know. Its revenue slowed. Revenue growth has slowed down to single digits, which I think is unprecedented for them. But I got to check. We'll go back more and more over time as we fill out the model. Let's see. Go to their annual results real quick. This is a bit of a double check as well as so 469 billion. So many billions of revenue for Amazon. It's like surreal. I mean, they're going to ultimately have $1 trillion of revenue at some point, right? It's never been done before. So 386. Craziest thing is AWS. It's like the greatest product ever invented, right? Next to Google's ad business, maybe. All right. 386,064, that checks out. I just kind of want to make sure all these numbers check out. Technology, SNMG, interest expense, taxes, great. Cool. All right, let's see, glance at these. They look just about right. A couple of numbers don't add up for rounding, but we don't have to worry about that. Looks good, looks good. Okay. So we got full 2019, yes. Let's go Q4 2019. Okay. Okay, 232. Okay, so now this one, these we're gonna fill in manually for the annual. So for 2018, let me shrink this a little. There we go. All right, so this will be 141, 915. This will be 90, 972. Okay, these are still copy pastas. formulas work. The formulas won't work for 18 because we don't have each quarter there. We only have one quarter there. And we don't need all those quarters, but inevitably over time I'll make a model that has all those quarters. All right, so let's see. This was 141, this was 90, 972, 3, 156, 3427. This margin is formula, of course. Technology and content. Remember, Amazon's doing content now. All right. Oh, the market's opening. It's more important to me to find the stock to buy than to watch the market, right? Like, what good is the market if you don't know what to buy or sell? If I'm comfortable in the buys and sells I have, I don't need to watch the market like a lunatic. But of course, I'm going to take a quick glance in a minute. I just want to 35026, 25655. Okay. It's funny how AWS grows. It's really interesting. It's also funny how Amazon is not that dominant outside of the US. This is not a thing. Ooh, this is tricky. I have to actually sum these myself, I think. Let's see. No, I don't. Not yet. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. Okay. Market's up a little bit, so our long from yesterday, Google is working out. Again, I kind of want to sell it because it's up 3%. So, but, you know, like I said yesterday, the instinct that you have to fight is, oh, let me sell my long because my long is up, which is not the right instinct at all. All right, so the market's up. I think I'm gonna sell the S&P. We bought the S&P yesterday here, and now it's up here. So that worked out really well, really well, like perfect, like almost too well. So we got to sell that. Not that I don't think it's going to keep going, but I actually think the opposite. I think that's going to go down. So let's get rid of the 12 shares we have of the S&P. All right, so sell. I'm going to go to market, sell, market order, sell 12. Everything looks good.
Order
all right.
partially filled.
Oh, I sold 100.
Order filled.
I sold 100 instead of 12. So of course I messed that up again. So now I'm short way too much. I'm short $33,000 worth of S&P when I have a only have a $50,000 account here. Again, this is a small account because I'm trying to compete with this on Monday, this trading competition. Let me see here. I need unrealized P&L. There we go. All right, so I got to get out of. I wanted to short a little bit actually, but I have to get out of almost all of this. So let me cover 80. So I got to fix that mistake real quick.
Order filled.
Okay, so I only wanted to be short 8 S&P. So now I flipped from a long to a short, which is usually a bad idea, by the way. Going 100%. Going 100% backwards, right? From long to short is usually not a good idea. In my experience, usually the market will, whatever stock, not just the S&P ETF, but any stock, you know, you don't want to be flipping from long to short quickly. I think that's weird because typically you're maybe I find a way to draw what I'm talking about. This is a bad habit I have to break, so maybe I should break it now by just getting out of what I'm talking about. But you know, basically, let's say you use white. Okay, so let's say you have a stock, it's moseying along, you decide the stock's a buy, and it goes up, right? So you've been kind of long throughout this period. All right? Green for your position, you're long. At some point, you stop being long, so now you're just say black or you're neutral. Let's call that white, a white color. Maybe yellow. Yellow means hold, and right? And then you decide to flip to red. This is sort of more normal behavior, right? Because if you look at the price, find a different color. All right, so if you look at the price, like, all right, so here, up to here, this is supposed to be a straight line. So you bought down here, and it's kind of a, you felt it was a buy, as long as it's in this blue box, which means basically up to this stock price. The more important part of the box is this line. Right up to here, it's a buy. You feel like at this price, you wouldn't buy it, right? Usually as things go up, we are less attracted to them, but that's not always true. And that after this price, right, the yellow line is really just a demarcation between yellow and red. Where above that price, you would sell it or even short it, right? So the thing that I just did, where I went from long in the green box, or the blue box, and I said, you know what, there is no yellow box, because as soon as it's above this price, I decided it's in the red box and I want to sell it and short it. That doesn't make much sense, because the yellow box represents what? The yellow box represents, to me at least, and this is my own method, nobody really talks about it this way, but the yellow box represents basically uncertainty, right? This is basically your being uncertain. And I think there's, you know, there's nobody trading who is certain of anything, right? So the idea that, like, you've gone from having a long position down here in the green box, sorry, where you're convinced that something's long, it's over here, and then all of a sudden you're convinced it's a short just because it crosses this line. That doesn't make any sense, because there has to be some period where you actually don't care, you're neutral. Right now the difference is if it gapped up quickly, so here's another stock price chart here, where it's moseying along, okay, try that one more time. It's moseying along, and then all of a sudden it gaps up like that, right? That's not maybe the best. Let me try again. Moseying along, and then it's a really steep increase. Well, then, this, remember, the x-axis is time. It may just not have spent much time in the yellow zone, nearly enough time that you would have time to even react. So then it feels like an instantaneous change is okay, because at this price you're willing to sort of, you know, change your mind. So anyway, there's some thoughts on, like, investing. So it turns out it worked out just fine. We're up again on our position, I guess. I don't understand what this daily P&L means, but oh, I think I get it now. So we're getting a little lucky here in our first couple of days trading, but again, the competition starts on Monday, so it's not a haven't really gotten started yet. We're just Amazon has only got till 2018. I need older than that. I have to go to the 10K probably. Nope. Marketing. Interesting. You can see the explosion of profits that Amazon had. Just look at that operating income line. Quite amazing. 79 plus 4, 493. Interesting lumpiness. Very interesting lumpiness. You could see, like, I think they were on a downtrend of growth, and then all of a sudden in 2020, the revenue increase the pandemic happened and there was a pull-in of demand, and now we're getting back to kind of, I think, that long-term trend of slowing growth. Pandemic kind of saved the day for Amazon, right? All right, back to work. Let's see here. Did we do all this? No, not yet. Yes, maybe, no. Pre-tax, correct. All right, great. AWS, 17,459,000,000. Yeah, so AWS's growth rate is kind of, it's just blistering, speed. I'm not saying that the other parts of the company aren't growing fast too. They're just growing less quickly, I guess. Let me see. Let's do North America retail, I guess. And it's funny because, remember, it's not just retail, it's everything but AWS. I don't know if that's actually the best. Let's not even look at that. Let's look at just online stores. That's probably better. And then we'll do physical stores. I don't even think we have to look at it. It's too small. Third-party stores. And then I don't know what the subscription business is. Is that Alexa and probably Prime, right? That's basically their high margin business. And then ads are also high margin. Although I'm not sure Prime is high margin. I don't know. I think fulfillment costs are pretty high, but that goes in fulfillment. It doesn't go into subscription. So it's an interesting way to look at it, I guess. All right, so these I have to sum myself, which is going to be annoying, but c'est la vie. Duty calls. 26,939, 27,165, 29,061, 39,822. Physical stores. 4263, 4312, 4248, 4441. The problem is I don't have a double checker. 9265, 9702, 10395, 13383. I could just do them twice. Subscription 3102, 3408, 3698, 3959, and others, which is advertising. Okay, let's try them one more time just to make sure I didn't mess it up. I'll put them in here for now. Correct. Correct. This is like League of Legends video game. Far less exciting. Oh, did I mess this one up? I may have messed this one up. Yeah. Glad I double checked. How exciting. Alright. I guess now we have to go to the 10K. Yeah, I think we have to go to the 10K. That's fine. Yeah, I think after 12, 15 quarters, you can probably just go to the 10K. You don't have to do the quarterlies. But, sorry, hold on. I still haven't learned how to use the new sec.gov. It's not as good as the old one either. So what I could do is... So let's see, first of all, let's look up what year are we talking about. We're looking at the 2016, or maybe it's 2017. I don't know. Maybe the 2016 10K, which would have come out in 2017, right? So let's see, there's the 10Q, 10Q, 10K. All right. Jeff Bezos, 53. Andrew Jassy, the current CEO. This guy is now working for, he, I guess, joined my friend's company. Amazing. Interesting board of directors. Amazing revenue growth, huh? 22, 20, 20, 27, and I mean, here's the funny part, right? It's 2013 to 2015. You figure the business has matured, it's only going to grow 22%, 20%, 20%. It's a lot of large numbers, right? How do you grow faster when the base gets bigger and bigger? Well, Amazon did that. They haven't grown 20%. They grew more than 20% for 5 years. Isn't that amazing? How surprising is that? Usually your business doesn't just all of a sudden start growing faster. It's just unheard of. That's why it's one of the most amazing companies ever created. So these sales numbers, it looks like, for 14, 15, and 16. 5834, 33510. And AWS was only a $4 billion business 8 years ago. Wow. Wouldn't even be a big drug company. But not many companies are going like that, from $4 billion in revenue to $62 billion in revenue. And you could have started a cloud company back in 2014 and gotten all that revenue, split it with Amazon or whatever. But, you know, everybody said, oh, this is not going to be a big business. It's just a little thing Amazon does on the side. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Oh, look at that. They used to break out media at part of North American sales. How nuts is that? Electronics, general merchandise. It's amazing. It sounds like such a weird way to break it down. Electronics and other general merchandise. But it's interesting. You can see the media sort of slow down. Amazon sells as many books as they. How do you grow that business? You know, you only sell so many books. That's why the general merchandise is growing fast. I don't know what that other line is. Non-retail, like ads, credit card assignments, international. Same concept. The media, electronics in general. Assuming the same dynamic, maybe not. Yeah, look at that. Media actually dropped back then. Sure, it's bigger now, but like, again, they kind of fully penetrated that market, saturated it. Da, 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 da. That doesn't seem right. I messed something up here. Oh, I know what. Add these 3 columns. I introduced some new columns. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so it's time we start looking at cash flow from operations because Amazon sort of has always been a company that wants you to look at cash flow instead of anything else. My work ethic is to work as hard as possible until my heart stops beating, until I can't work any longer. It's not good. The best part about Amazon, I think, is that they never got obsessed with share buybacks, which is something that and dilution, which is something that I struggled with. Although they kept the share count growth pretty clean. You have to admit that. Look at that AWS growth, man. Wow. Never seen a business grow like that. 70, 55, 43, 47. Crazy. Okay. Everything looks good. All right, so let's just glance at the market real quick. So I don't have a lot. We have to do some forecasts for Amazon, but this is the first stage of just kind of understanding what the heck is up with their business. So it looks like that SPY trade that I said don't do that kind of thing. Looks like we kind of got lucky there.